All right, welcome back to the channel. Methodical Man here. We're going to go over the 5-minute gap strategy after 10 a.m. So basically, if you're new here, we're going to kind of go over what we're looking for. We're just looking for price on the 5-minute chart after 10 a.m. to start. And we're looking for the first gap to form on the 5-minute chart after 10 a.m. What's a gap, you might ask? Well, it's just a 3-candle setup where you have candle 1, candle 2, and candle 3. If there is a gap between the high and the low, candle 1 and candle 3, then that's your gap. And if it's a bearish gap, you would enter short. If it's a bullish gap, you enter long. Simple as that. We are using a fixed 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. And this is episode 9. Let's kind of go over how we've been doing so far. This strategy, we've had our 2 worst weeks in the last 2 weeks. Prior to that, we were up around $12,000 on one mini. But in the last 2 weeks, we are now up only $6,105, averaging $763 a week, and with a win rate right at 50%. So coming into week 9 of this Ford test here. So this is Monday's information, Monday's chart. And let's go ahead and take a look here and see. So we have this 10 a.m. candle here. And you can see this is the first gap formed after 10 a.m. So we would be taking a short position here. So let's go ahead and get our short on. So we'd be shorting right at the bottom of the gap there. Stop is going to go at the top of candle number 1. And we are going to target a fixed 2-to-1 risk to reward here. Let's pull this stuff down here down so we can get a little more room here. Really don't even have to pull this down. I mean, we can see we didn't hit it, right? So do we get tagged in? Yes, we do. Right here we get tagged in. Price pushes down and then just simply bounces back up and we get stopped out right there. So on this particular day, we lost 78 handles. That's a pretty big loss. So not starting the week off great there. So let's move over to Tuesday. If you guys are interested in trading futures, we do have the coupon codes for APEX 90% off, Bulenox 90% off as well. That does end on Tuesday. So you only got a couple of days here to get that going. So I would encourage you, if you are interested in trading futures, now's the time to buy. Now's the time to jump in there and buy. So let's find the 10 o'clock candle here. Right here's the 10 o'clock candle, and we can see we got a gap right off the bat there. And in this scenario, it's a bullish candle, or bullish gap. So we'll be taking a long position. So let's put our position on here. Stop goes at the bottom of candle number 1, unless candle number 1 is lower than candle number 2, and then it would go at the bottom of candle number 2. And let's push this up to 2.0. There we are. So do we get tagged in? Yes, we do. Right away. Pulls back, tags us in, and as we can see, it runs to the target here. So it pulls back a couple of times, it tags us in, and then it runs to the target. So on this particular day, we won 93 handles. So we're now up 15 handles on the week going into Wednesday's action. And if you guys have not already, hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. It does help the channel. I'm trying to push into 1,000 subscribers. We're somewhere in the mid 400s right now. So trying to do our best to get on into the 1,000 subscribers there. So let's find the 10 o'clock candle. That's here. Is there a gap? There is a gap right here. It's a pretty small one, but it's there. Let's go ahead and mark that out right here. Small gap. So this scenario, we would also be taking a long position. So this would be our long position. Stop goes at the bottom of candle number 1. And of course, once again, still targeting 2-to-1. Risk to reward here. All right. So do we get tagged in? Yes, we do, right here. 1240. So you had to wait a while to get tagged in, but we did. And does it run to the target? It does. So on this particular day, we made 87 handles. So 2 wins, 1 losers going into Thursday's action. Thursday's action there. We do stream live 5 days a week if you guys are new here. If you're interested in watching these strategies traded live, join us for the live stream, 9:15 a.m. Also trying to work in some London sessions in there as well, once again. So I think I'll be live for London Monday morning, 3 a.m. Eastern. So here's your 10 a.m. candle, and then the gaps formed right there on the 10:05 candle right there. So we would be taking a short here. We can already see it's a loss, but this will help us figure out how big of a loss. Stop goes at the top of candle number 1 there. So luckily this was kind of a smaller position here. We only lost 37 37 handles. So going into the Friday, 2 winners, 2 losers. Let's just make sure we got that right. This is bearish. Get tagged in and we get tagged out right away. Yep. So going into Friday, 2 winners, 2 losers. So it really just depends upon how big the losers were. If we're be profitable, because if Friday's a loser, then as long as it's not a huge one, we should be okay. So let's go ahead and get our gap marked out for Friday if we do in fact have one. There is one right there on the 10-minute candle. There it is. Let's go ahead and put our position on. So we'll be taking a short position as this is a bearish gap. And let's put our stop. The stop is going to go right there. So this is the scenario where you would put your stop at the top of candle number 2. Candle number 1 is shorter. Candle number 2 is not. So let's target a 2-to-1 risk to reward here. Doesn't really matter. We don't hit it. So on Friday here, what happens? We get tagged in. We almost run. Now, this was an interesting scenario on Friday. We traded down to 51. Now, once we get to 1.75 to 1, we move our stop to 1 to 1. 1.75 to 1 was going to be 44. So we were 6 points away from locking in profit on this trade. But at the end of the day, we didn't get there, so we lost 49 handles. So let's go ahead and mark that out. And we're going to break out the calculator for these calculations here because as we all know, math is hard. So we were 93 handles, 87 handles in profit. 93 plus 87 equals 180. Then we lost 78. Then we lost 37. And then we lost 49. So on the week, we still netted 16 handles, which is not a lot of money, but it is green. So that's $320. So not the best week, but it's not a red week at least. So let's add the $320 to our $6,105, and we'll divide that by 9 weeks. 6,105 plus 320, $6,425 over 9 weeks. That comes out to $713 per week if you took 1 mini. Now, a couple of things to note this week on my personal trading. Right here on Friday, I saw this order block. Let's take this off. So we traded down, and we put this order block was developed here. And so what did I do? I used some common sense, some discretion here. Since we were unable to lock in 1-to-1, I thought that if we exceed this order block, I don't like the trade at that point. I assume that we'll be stopped out. So I moved my stop just to the top of the order block, and I minimized. I took probably like a 3 or 4 handle loser. So on Friday, I did not get the full loser, but also in contrast, on Wednesday, this was the day that Powell spoke at 12, or I don't remember what time it was, 2:30 or 2 o'clock. We had FOMC. So I did take my position off here for profit, but not as much as I would have had. So I used some discretion here, and about 215, I took it off for $300 or $400, and obviously it ran to the target. But on FOMC day, it could kind of go either way, right? Normally, we don't even pay attention to the news. We don't care if there's news. It's kind of the way I have been treating it, but I just decided to input some discretion this week. So we missed out on a little bit of a winner, and we saved ourselves on one of the losers. So still came out green on the account, pretty much the same amount we would have. But so that's going to do it. Once again, we are averaging $713 a week, and now we had 2 winners, 3 losers this week, and that's kind of at the minimum that you need to make money. 2 winners, 3 losers. That now puts this percentage at 51% exactly, which is still a little better than that's the winning percentage than the backtesting. Backtesting was 49%. So once again, if you guys have not liked the video, like the video for me, subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment down below, and we'll see you guys live 9:15 a.m. on Monday. Thanks for watching.